Welcome to the 10th and final episode of the beginner's course for the Modern Girl's Guide to Sewing.
Congratulations!
You made it! Now that you know all the basics, it's time to put all those skills to use and actually make something you can wear.
We're going to make a fabulous A-line skirt with an elastic waistband and a blind hem, both skills we covered during this beginner's course.
We'll be using a beautiful cotton blend woven with an amazing drape for our skirt, but you can use really whatever you want. This tutorial works great with cottons, knits, polyester, pretty much anything.
The first step is to take your measurements. Using the vinyl measuring tape, measure your waist and multiply that number by 1.5. If you want a slightly fuller skirt, multiply it by 2 instead. Then divide that measurement by 2. This number will be your skirt width. Now measure from your waist to your knee and add 2 inches. This measurement will be your skirt length. To get the most accurate measurement, have a friend measure for you. Now let's cut our pieces. Cut 2 rectangles of fabric using the 2 measurements we just figured out. Here's a little time-saving tip. Fold your fabric in half and cut through both layers of fabric to cut both of your skirt pieces simultaneously. This will also guarantee that they are identical cuts. Next, we'll cut the waistband. We're going to cut 2 identical rectangles using the same width measurement as the skirt and make it 3 inches long. And finally, cut the elastic. Use your vinyl measuring tape and wrap it around your waist snugly. Add 1/2 inch to that measurement and then cut a piece of elastic to that length.
Now that all your skirt pieces are cut, let's start sewing. First, we'll sew the skirt pieces together. With right sides of the fabric together, match up the 2 skirt pieces. Pin along the length sides, then sew the sides up with a straight stitch and a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now set that aside and let's move to the waistband. With right sides of the fabric together, match up the 2 waistband pieces. Pin along the short sides, then sew those sides up with a straight stitch. You'll now have a loop of fabric. Fold the loop in half widthwise so one side is a folded edge and the other has both raw edges and your seam allowances are hidden inside. Slip the waistband over the skirt and match it up with the top of the skirt, right sides together, with all the raw edges pointing up and matching. Start stitching at the side seams and stitch around the entire waistband with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, creating a casing for your elastic. One tip we use is to put 2 pins right next to each other to remind you where to stop. Leave 3 inches open at the end of your seam. You'll insert your elastic through this opening. Attach a safety pin to one end of your elastic and feed it through the waistband casing that you just made. Make sure the other end of the elastic doesn't disappear into the casing as you pull it through. Pin it in place if you need to. Once the elastic is fed all the way through the casing, sew the ends of the elastic together with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Tuck the elastic into the casing, then sew up the gap so your casing is closed. You'll need to stretch your waistband as you sew so it lays flat and you don't get any fabric tucks. With the waistband still folded down, finish the raw edges with a zigzag stitch or a serger stitch to keep them from fraying. Lastly, it's time for the hem. Turn your skirt inside out and slip it onto the ironing board. Fold one section of the fabric up 1 inch using your hem gauge to measure precisely and press in place. Move along the hem and repeat until the entire hem is folded and pressed up 1 inch. Then, fold it up another inch and press in place again, moving along the hem again until the hem is folded up 2 inches all the way around. Then go back around a 3rd time and pin the folded edges in place. We'll use the blind hem technique to hem this skirt since it looks super professional. Lay your skirt on your machine with the folded hem facing up. Now fold your hem under but leave about 1/4 inch sticking out like this. Change your machine stitch to blind hem, then carefully sew along the edge that's sticking out, making sure the zigzag stitch catches the folded edge. If you need more help with the blind hem stitch, refer to video 7, where we cover all things hemming.
Congratulations! You just made your very own custom garment. Let's celebrate. You've reached the end of the beginner's course for the Modern Girl's Guide to Sewing. Now you have a great foundational knowledge of sewing, and it's time to learn some more advanced skills.
Our intermediate course will teach you how to create and insert sleeves, put in a zipper, attach pockets, and other fun skills to bump up your sewing game. The more skills you have, the more creative you can be. So it's time to start using that creativity to make some amazing clothes.
You can make so much. It's great. Find our intermediate course at moderngirlsewing.com. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
We had so much fun.
It's been so fun. And we'll see you in the intermediate course of the Modern Girl's Guide to Sewing.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.